Welcome to Season 2, Episode 19 of Full House Rewind. I'm Dave Coulier.
And I'm Marla Sokoloff.
How you doing?
I'm pretty good. Nothing
Since
to
last we
report.
spoke, nothing new. Yeah.
Nothing new, nothing, it's just even keeled, which I think is always great. We don't have anything pressing that's terrible or good. It's just kind of, we're going.
I would like to thank everybody for all the well wishes I'm receiving. It's just so sweet of all of you.
People love you, Dave. And I hate that it took such a horrible thing to happen to you for everyone to let you know how much we love you. But people love you so much. I mean, anytime I post anything about the show or whatever, there's immediately 50 messages saying, how's Dave feeling and how is he doing?
Well, just a quick update. I'm feeling really good. Making it through my treatments and encouraging people to get, screenings and early detection and all that stuff still. So we're rolling right along and, hopefully this is in the rearview mirror pretty soon.
Have there been any challenges? I mean, obviously a lot of challenges, but how has it affected your life in a way that you're like really, aware of? Obviously there's doctor's appointments and medications and things that, just comes with it. But has there been anything that's like shocked you? That's how it's impacted you?
There's nothing that really shocked me just because I've gone through it so much with my family, my mom, my sister.
You've really been through it.
My older sister. And so there was nothing that is shocking, but it is an adjustment when all of a sudden you have neuropathy. I had never had neuropathy before. And then I thought I stepped on something in the kitchen, looked down at my foot, there was nothing. And I thought, I have neuropathy, which, is like your nerve endings are just exploding. So, but nothing has really jolted me out of my seat. It's just kind of, okay, this is what I can expect. This is what everybody has told me. But my symptoms haven't been super bad. Like, you hear from people about, some really bad stuff, side effects that can happen. And I really, it hasn't been too bad. I mean, there's days where I get my butt kicked. Yeah. But for the most part, this is my journey and it's been I'm not going to say pretty good one, but it hasn't been horrific.
And I like that there's like an endpoint that's kind of near, sort of, like for treatment wise. So that's great.
Yeah. That's the nice thing about non-Hodgkin's lymphoma is that, there's a really good high curability rate and a good positive prognosis. So,
what's the difference between Hodgkin's and non-Hodgkin's? Do you know?
That's a really good question, and I haven't been able to find out that information
yet.
Okay. Yeah. One doesn't have it.
Yeah.
It's the non.
So it's the non, and you want the non,
Hodgkin's.
Right? The non is a little more.
Yeah, I think it's just associative with Hodgkin's disease.
Right.
So,
but it's not that. It's non.
There's so many different. Yeah, I mean, there's so many different types.
Yeah.
That's the amazing thing is there's so many different types of cancers and different degrees and different. It's just amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah, like Danielle Fishel, I was reading, she has a breast cancer diagnosis, but hers was stage 0, which I didn't even know there was a stage 0.
I didn't know there was a stage 0 either. I'm stage 3. 4 is, of course, as you go up, it's worse and worse.
Yep.
But stage 3 for me meant that it hadn't gone into my bloodstream or major organs.
Right.
So
that
was a happy day.
Well, you look great. Your spirits are great.
You think so? I think my face is distorted from the steroids, and my stomach is like distended from steroids. And I thought, what is going on? I haven't been eating that much, and the steroids can have that effect on you.
That's so messed up. Well, the black is very slimming. This look for you. You don't look bloated or anything. Dark colors are your best friend.
Yeah. Yeah. What did I see the other day that I think it was on SNL. Somebody said I look like a deodorant roll-on with my head.
Stop it. Oh my God.
I look like a deodorant. So
you do not look like deodorant. I think you look so cute with your hat off too.
Really?
It's a very
I-
sexy look for you, Dave. We like it.
I look like I could. Should I take the hat off for this episode?
Take the hat off. Let your
You
hair
think
down.
so? It's already down. I'm taller than my hair right now. That's the problem. So, all right, I'll do this episode with no hat because
Yeah.
I'm a little self-conscious about it.
You don't need to
So-
be. I think this is it's like trying to think of the vibe. I don't know. It's very
Instead of Bruce
chic.
Willis,
Bruce Willis.
vibe?
Yes.
really? I'll take it.
Yes. I love
I'll
it.
take it. Because he's a very handsome man, for crying
He
out
is.
loud. I'll take
He
it if I
is.
can be associated with Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
It's got a little bit of what would be his first movie where he was totally shaved.
Yeah, that's
Wasn't Die Hard.
no.
He still had hair in Die Hard.
Lots of hair. Yeah, Mr.
Okay.
Google. We'll have to Mr. Google that one because I'm not
We'll have
sure.
to Google that.
Yeah. Mhm.
So I hope I'm not boring people with my diagnosis or talking about this stuff, but I think it's important to talk about it normally.
Boring is the opposite of what I think. This is informative. People, and like I said at the top of the show, people care about you. They're worried about you. You're in people's hearts and minds. So I think it's really nice that you're so open and willing to update people and talk about it.
Well, thank you. That's nice that you're passing that along. After I did the Today Show and People Magazine and everything, the word went out like nothing I've ever experienced before. And the amount of outpouring of support from everybody was incredible.
Mhm.
But also, I knew that my message was getting through because people were like, it was like what you said. I heard about this and I went and got it tested, or I went and, and that's just so important. But for me, it was like, the message is getting there to people. And that's
Yeah.
the most important thing about all of this. I can talk about me, but there's people that have much worse diagnoses and have really been through the ringer. And for all those people, I send my support. But the message is getting out there, and that's important to me.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. No, it's huge.
but we have a show to do.
We do.
Forget about me.
That's over here. Yeah.
We had our show, episode 19 of season 2, called A Blast from the Past. I will tell you this, when I hear Blast from the Past, I did a CD years ago called A Blast from the Pants. And the whole CD had farts in it.
No, that's not a
Yeah.
true story.
It's so true. I'll bet you can probably still Google it and find it somewhere.
So was this something that you self-released?
Yes, it was probably 25 years ago.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, I bet it was 25 years ago. But it was called A Blast from the Pants.
A blast from the pants.
And the cover is me holding a microphone up to the butt crack of a construction worker.
Oh, my
And-
goodness.
All the songs, I wrote all the music and did all the voices and did sketches and stuff. It was actually very funny. But it was the first time I ever did, see someone here on our production team has just pulled it up. So I'm not
Is there
making this up.
can someone please email that to me immediately?
A Blast from the
Oh,
Pants. And I used to sell it as Every Cut Has a Cut. And it was because every cut had at least one fart sound in it. And it was really silly and sophomoric. And I just said, I have to get this out of my brain.
Yeah.
But it was very funny. And I self-released it many, many years ago.
And how'd that
but
do? How'd that do? Was it a hit?
No, but it's a Gassic classic.
No.
See? I just reminded myself that I have to do a dad joke.
Yeah, I think you just did 4 in a row. You didn't even know you were doing it.
So I'm covered, so I don't have to waste any?
I feel like we're covered for the rest of this
Oh,
season.
okay. All right, we're
perhaps?
covered.
Yeah, no, I really feel like
I've passed my allotment of dad jokes already.
definitely your allotment of fart jokes. Those ones are
Yeah.
I think we need to wrap those ones up.
Yeah, okay. All right. But look for it. A Blast from the Pants makes a great gift.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds exactly what I'm going to
Yeah.
be buying
But,
my husband.
my reputation is behind me. Anyhow, so I'm telling you, this CD is a crack up. It really, really is.
Ugh.
Okay, that's way too many. But I
Okay.
digress.
Yeah, you have digressed.
Because Blast from the Pants, episode 19 of season 2, was directed by Tom Rickard, and I was the only guy who could do a Tom Rickard impression.
Is that how he would direct you guys?
Yeah, she directed a couple episodes. And I remember Billy Foster, who was a director, who was a choreographer, and I think choreographed Singing in the Rain with Gene Kelly.
That's rad.
Pretty sure, like, he was a famous choreographer, but he directed our show. And I remember on the walkie-talkies, we were shooting in Hawaii, and Tom Rickard is talking on the walkie-talkie, and Billy Foster talked like this. He was from New York. He talked like this, and he always had a cigarette and a coffee. I need a coffee. I need a cigarette. I need coffee and cigarette. So Tom Rickard, who directed this episode, is on the walkie-talkie, and he's going, and the only word you can hear at the end is over. And Billy Foster looks around, and I was right there to see this. He goes, "It sounds like you got a mouthful of mush." And so I used to always, so Stamos loved whenever Tom Rickard, who was our AD on the show, whenever Tom would talk, Bob would come up to me and John would both come up to me and go, after he's finished speaking, they'd go, over. So Tom Rickard, we love you. But yeah, that was our bit way back in April 7th, 1989, when you directed this. So what do you think the writer's pitch is on this one, Marla?
Joey is smitten when his old college sweetheart returns looking for romance.
Romance. Did you go to college? Have I ever asked you that?
I didn't go to college. It's something you're insecure about your hair right now. I've always been very insecure about not going to college. But I was working. I got the practice when I was 17. I was still in high school, and then that took me to my early 20s, and then I just kept working. So no, I never went to college. Did you?
I went to community college, but my joke is I never went to college. I couldn't find a parking spot. Oh, another dad joke. I used to do that in my act. I was like 19 years old doing stand-up, and I'm out here doing this. I didn't go to college. I couldn't find a parking spot. I drove around that first day, and I just said, forget this.
Yeah.
I'm going to do stand-up comedy. Yeah. So.
Okay, so we're both dumb. Perfect. We're perfect for each other.
I have life experience.
Yeah. Oh, I got tons of that. Tons
of life experience, which I think is really, really valuable. Because I had friends who were like straight A students, got scholarships to major colleges, and they never did anything.
Right.
And so I thought, but you don't know that at the time.
That question does come up a lot in life. Where'd you go to college? Or you'll be in a group of people and they'll be talking about their college experiences. And yeah, I do. I feel a little like icky about it that I don't have that.
And you shouldn't, but because everybody wants to have an identity. And for a lot of people, college is their identity. It's a commonality that they share. They belong to something. They are an alumni.
Right.
But you and I mean, we're alumni of shows.
Yeah. We're different alum.
Yeah.
And a lot of people would really want to be this kind of alum, but I don't know why.
Yeah.
It makes me feel like there's always like a judgment attached to it,
You shouldn't feel guilty about it at all. Just like, let's take your showbiz career away. You're a mother of 3 girls.
Right.
Incredible accomplishment.
Thank you.
End of story. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. And scene.
Nope.
And scene.
Yeah. And scene. Don't care if you went to college. You're an incredible mom. Okay. So
thank you.
Yeah. But we both felt guilty about that.
I'm like, and I feel guilty about that too. It just follows me everywhere.
Well, why don't we tell everybody what's happening in this episode? I'll start us off. Episode 19 opens with a teaser in Michelle's room, and Jesse is helping Michelle get dressed. And then Michelle insists that she can get dressed all by herself, mister.
Jesse agrees, and he sits in the rocking chair and begins reading a Dr. Seuss book while Michelle starts to pull a sweater over her head. She gets tangled in the sweater and cries out for Jesse to help. Jesse pulls the sweater on Michelle, and she says, "I did it!" They playfully trade "I did it," and we fade into the main titles.
Very do.
That's right.
I don't think we owe a royalty. I didn't sing enough. Yeah. Well, the show starts off in Joey's room. Joey lays on the bed, tossing a basketball in the air, and Jesse throws darts at a dartboard, while Michelle lays on the floor, coloring in a coloring book.
Danny enters and announces that he's excited about tax season. Who isn't? The phone rings. Michelle answers and tells the woman on the phone that she went poo-poo in the potty.
I'm not going to say anything. Jesse grabs the phone and tells Joey that Patty Fogarty is calling. Dun, dun, dun. Jesse asks who Patty is, and Joey says that Patty is his old girlfriend from college. Joey went to college. Holy smokes.
See? My point?
That's right. Whatever happened to Joey? Joey says that he just can't talk to her.
Joey tells the guys that Patty was the one and that he was going to ask her to get married. Danny reveals that Patty walked out on Joey with no phone call, no goodbye, but left him a note on her new boyfriend's stationery.
That
Jeez,
is
Patty.
Yeah, that's not nice.
Cold-blooded. Danny says that she ripped Joey's heart out, threw it on the ground, and did a Mexican hat dance on it. Joey insists that he's not going to see her. I don't blame Joey.
Yeah, not with a Mexican hat dance.
Yeah.
Joey answers the call and immediately invites Patty over that evening. Danny is not happy about Joey seeing Patty. Jesse says that Patty was the great love of Joey's life and that he should sweep Patty off her feet when he sees her. Danny mimes Joey getting his heart ripped out and Patty dancing on it. Bob was very funny in this scene.
We cut to the girls' room. Kimmy Gibbler is performing a magic trick for DJ, Stephanie, and Michelle. DJ steps up and performs the ball of mystery trick, but drops the ball and quickly reveals how the trick is done.
Kimmy Gibbler launches into another magic trick. Michelle doesn't get picked to help with the trick, says, "Aw, nuts," and exits. Stephanie and DJ help with the trick, which involves handcuffs. Well, Kimmy handcuffs DJ and Stephanie's hands together. The trick fails, and Kimmy can't remove the handcuffs. Of course.
We cut to the living room. Danny sits on the couch doing taxes as Jesse enters. Danny tries to enlighten Jesse about the benefits of understanding taxes.
Because Jesse didn't go to college.
Right. I'm with Jesse. I don't want the benefits of understanding taxes, but thank you.
Joey enters wearing a suit and tie, and Jesse encourages Joey about his date with Patty as Danny tries to discourage him. The doorbell rings. Patty enters, and Joey tells her that she looks great. And did she bring his Peter Frampton album? Now, I'm going to tell you this. I was a huge Peter Frampton fan in high school.
Okay.
And I had long curly hair. You wouldn't think no, but I did. And people used to call me Peter Frampton.
Oh, okay.
And I knew every one of his songs by heart. And then years later, I met Peter Frampton because Mark Sandrowski, his daughter had their high school commencement at downtown at the Frank Gehry Music Hall.
Uh-huh.
And Peter Frampton's either son or daughter was in the class.
Oh, wow.
So I got to meet Peter Frampton, and his hair was like mine right now.
You're like, what happened to your hair?
It was very nice.
Okay, that's good.
Very jovial. So
okay, great.
Side note.
Peter Frampton. Okay, Joey introduces Patty to Jesse. Danny says hello to Patty, and as her back is turned, mimes that Joey is getting his heart ripped out and Patty dancing on it. He does that little bit. Joey and Patty exit.
We cut to Joey's room. Patty and Joey enter. Joey tells Patty how he moved in to help Danny raise the girls, and Patty tells Joey that he hasn't changed a bit and gives him a big hug. Joey then asks Patty why she's here.
Yeah, what's your deal, Patty? Patty tells Joey that she was married, got divorced, and she started to think about the last time in her life that she was really happy. It was when she was with Joey. She grabs the Popeye doll that Joey gave her years ago. They reminisce about their first kiss and when they first met.
And then Patty continues to break Joey's heart. Patty tells Joey that she misses all the fun they used to have. And Joey asks Patty why she walked out on him and never even said goodbye and took off with Michael Winchester and left him a lousy note. And Joey asks Patty if she realizes how much that hurt.
Patty tells Joey that she wanted to say goodbye but couldn't face him and then apologizes. She tells Joey that she wanted to be swept away in someone's arms and hear the words, "I love you." Joey insists that he did say "I love you," but Patty says that he did so as Bullwinkle, Yosemite Sam, and Elmer Fudd. Can we get a little bit of how Joey said "I love
I
you"?
love you, Patty. I say I love you there, girl. I love you very, very much, Patty.
Aw. Aw.
That's not going to turn a girl on?
Come on, Patty, that's adorable.
If that doesn't do it, man.
Yeah.
Well, then Joey pours his heart out and tells Patty that he wanted to spend the rest of his life with her. They hug each other, and Joey says that for 10 years, he has wondered what it would have been like to hold her again. They kiss, and Joey tells Patty that he really did love her and he's never stopped. They finish the scene with another kiss.
We cut to the living room. Danny's seated on the couch and continues to work on taxes. Jesse enters. He empties the receipts from a shoebox on the table. Danny tells Jesse that he's worried about Joey and how he's dealing with Patty, and that he hopes Joey doesn't fall back under her spell. Well, Joey and Patty enter and walk through the living room laughing and kissing. Under the spell, he goes.
Under the spell, yeah. We
Mhm.
cut to the girls' room where DJ and Stephanie are still handcuffed together. They ask Kimmy if she brought the key for the handcuffs. She says that they're with her brother, who is in Reno. Way to go, Gibbler. As Danny enters, DJ and Steph jump into bed together, quickly covering themselves with a blanket.
They tell Danny how much they love each other. Danny exits and the girls try to go to sleep. Danny tells DJ that she can't sleep on her back and lays on top of her. They switch positions and try to go back to sleep. Stephanie tells DJ that she drank too much lemonade after dinner, so they both get up and head to the bathroom.
We cut to the living room. It's the next morning. Danny is seated on the couch as Michelle stands nearby. Jesse enters. Danny tells Jesse that he's getting a tax refund of $352, but then reveals that by using the long form, he actually owes $48.17.
Joey enters singing an operatic song about love and exits to the kitchen. Before Danny exits, he sees that Michelle has cleaned the table by sweeping all his tax documents on the floor. Danny says that he created a cleaning monster. Michelle does a monster growl, and Danny pretends to be scared.
Then, of course, we cut to the kitchen, and Joey is giving Jesse the play-by-play about his night with Patty. Danny enters carrying Michelle. He tells Joey that there's plenty of fish in the sea. Joey says that he's happy being back with Patty.
Danny tells Joey that he doesn't want to see him get his heart broken again. Joey insists that this time he's going about it the right way and he's cooking Patty dinner that evening.
DJ and Stephanie enter the kitchen. They block the still-locked handcuffs with Stephanie's Mr. Bear stuffed animal. Well, Danny notices that they're wearing the same clothing as the previous day. Wah, wah.
Kimmy enters and reveals that her brother won't be back with the key for another week. Whew. As DJ and Steph react, Danny sees that they're handcuffed, and Jesse tells everyone that he had the same kind of magic handcuffs when he was a kid. He removes
Of course
the cuffs.
Jesse did. right?
He
Yeah.
removes the cuffs with a magical flourish and handcuffs Kimmy.
We cut to the backyard. Joey and Patty are seated at a candlelit table set for dinner. They share a toast to the future. They grab a piece of spaghetti and reenact the famous scene from Lady and the Tramp.
Patty suggests they streak the neighborhood and then starts a food fight with Joey and says that she came back for the old crazy Joey. Joey insists that Patty doesn't really know anything about him as Joey explains his life now 10 years later.
Streak, right? Remember streaking?
I personally never did it, but I'm sure you did.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. That was a big thing.
It was a big thing.
When I was a teenager.
Yeah.
Yeah, streaking was a big thing. People used to do it at sporting events, and streaking was a whole
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
So Patty says that she thought that they were falling in love again. And Joey tells her that they're falling in love with their memories of each other. Joey's pretty smart here.
Yeah.
They suddenly start to feel like strangers. Joey and Patty decide to sit and have their dinner and get to know each other. They start to eat. Joey makes a joke and then does a Popeye laugh. And they kind of rekindle with their little backyard dinner. That's the episode.
Yeah, so jumping ahead, how long did Patty stick around?
That's a really good question. I don't know if she did more episodes. I'm not sure.
So you guys rekindled and then she went away again?
I think the writers probably thought, okay, well, we told that story.
So no girlfriend for Joey.
I always used to say, Jesse gets all the girls.
Yeah, like, come on. Can Joey have like at least 2 episodes of a girlfriend?
No, apparently not.
Okay. Just worried about Patty. And the actress who played Patty was probably like, why didn't they bring me back? What the hell?
Talk to the writers.
Yep. Should we play a little game?
Yeah.
You feeling gamey?
I'm feeling gamey. Well, that's not a very good. Am I feeling gamey?
You don't want to feel gamey.
I feel pretty gamey at this point. You know what? I'm going to put my hat back on for crying out loud. Yeah.
Okay, this game is called A Blast from the Past. In this episode, as you know, Joey reconnects with his former girlfriend, Patty. And I'm going to ask you some questions about late 80s, mid 90s blast from the past, my favorite era. And we'll see how many you can get correct. And regardless, you're going to win a prize.
I don't know what the prize is ever.
We're still working on it. We're still working on it, Dave. So we'll let you know when we find that out, okay?
Okay.
It's not for you to worry about.
I'm ready.
Okay.
I don't even care.
Here we go.
This late
80s and early 90s hugely popular animated series turned into a gigantic franchise and featured characters like Raphael, Donatello, and Michelangelo.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And my friend Rob Paulson did one of the characters. I'm not sure which one. But
okay.
I just saw Rob at the Detroit or Motor City Comic Con.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, those Mutant Ninja Turtles were big.
Huge.
Yeah, I never got into them. But
I was a little too old for...
A little too old, yeah.
Ninja Turtles.
Okay, here we go. In the early 90s, Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, and Alice in Chains led the way for this type of music. What was it known as?
Hey, grunge, man.
Yes. Okay, second part. Do you know where the grunge music scene started? Like what city?
Yes, Seattle.
Okay, great.
Yep, Seattle.
You would win a prize if I had one for you.
Oh, well, don't you have to get all of the...
Okay, true. No, but that was like a 2-parter, so I felt like you deserved a prize. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Okay. This popular TV series aired during the same time that Full House was on the air, and it featured a principal by the name of Mr. Belding.
Saved by the Bell.
Yep. I love that show.
I always thought Mr. Belding is like the Beldings.
Oh, I never thought of it that way.
So that must have been a writer's joke.
Yeah.
Look
at how fun they were being.
Right?
Wow. Yeah, never even thought about that, but 100%. Mr. Belding. Also, Mario Lopez was on it.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Berkley, one of my friends who I love.
They're such
Tiffany
nice
Thiessen.
people.
Yeah.
they're such nice people. I see them once in a while, and they're just adorable people.
Yeah.
So nice.
And that was a Saturday morning one. That wasn't prime time.
That was Saturday morning, but then it turned into a stripped show in syndication.
Is that true? Okay.
Yeah, because it was on daily as a stripped show. That's what they
Daily.
used to call them, a strip show.
Huh. Okay.
Oh, I'll take this one. I hosted a series on this popular kids network. The network exploded in the 90s with Rugrats, Doug, Ren and Stimpy. Do you know what show I hosted?
I don't know what show you hosted.
Okay.
What was it called?
Out of Control.
Wait, remind me what that is, because that sounds so familiar. Was it like a remote control, like for the television or something?
No, it ran for many years on Nickelodeon.
Okay.
And it was me at a desk.
Okay.
And then I had these field reporters, these wacky characters like Hearn Burford and Diz. And they would bring in these wacky stories, and we had a hurry up machine on the show. So kids would send us,
wrap it up.
like, how do we... I hate being in class. It just seems like it goes on forever. And I'm like, okay, we're going to send you a hurry up. And I'd hit the hurry up machine. And it would crank the footage in fast motion.
Oh.
And we did just wacky stuff. And at that time, Nickelodeon was based in Canada.
Oh, okay.
And it had just kind of come to the U.S. And it was they just left us alone. And the show ran for, I think, 6 or 7 years, but we did 26 episodes, and they just kept rerunning those 26 for...
That's hilarious. I loved
like
Nickelodeon.
7 years. Yeah.
I watched all of, that was definitely my childhood, that was a great network. Well, it's still around, but it's just so different,
It's a different Nickelodeon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, completely different.
My question or yours? This one's... Yeah.
Okay. Launched in 1989, as we know, the year Taylor Swift was born. This was the first handheld
Is that
game...
when she was born?
This was in 1989. Yeah, December 13th, 1989. She just had her birthday recently. Okay, but we'll take that out because it's not December.
You have 3 daughters.
Yes. I had no option but to become a Swiftie. It was just like, you couldn't fight it. Okay, launched in 1989, this was the first handheld gaming console to explode in the market. It featured games like Tetris, Super Mario Land. What was that called?
I'm blanking.
Nintendo. Game Boy.
Game Boy.
Did you have a Game Boy?
I never had a Game Boy.
Didn't have a Game Boy. Okay.
That was...
I didn't have a Game Boy, but my brother did, so I obviously used to steal it and play on it all the time, but I had my own Game Boy.
I had one of the first Apple computers.
Oh, did you?
Wish I still had it, because it was an Apple II.
What does that mean?
It would be worth, I think, a lot of money right now.
It would be worth an insane amount of money.
Yeah,
like
and I had one. I had like the first IBM PC Junior, when everything was a real floppy
disk. Yeah.
And I remember you had to write like 20 lines of code in order to cut and paste something. And it was MS-DOS, and you just had to learn coding for everything.
That's
like if you wanted
crazy.
to build a website, when websites first came out, you had to know how to code.
Right.
Yeah. It was crazy.
Now, copy paste, you just go boom, 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 boom. Done
I wish
for
I would
you.
have kept. Yeah, I wish I would have kept all of my old computers, all of my old phones, because I would put them on a wall. See our production guys here. They have a bunch of them. Max, can you bring me over one of those? Let's see, one of the white one there. We have one. I want to show everybody, because I wish I would have kept mine. I would have put them on a big display case.
Yeah.
And this thing weighs about 50 pounds. I mean, look at this stuff.
Wow. Oh, I had that one too.
Right.
I totally had that.
Look at that. That is crazy. I had one of these.
Yeah.
This one's, let's see if we can get a year, 2009.
Which is crazy, because that's like not that long ago, but that looks like it's from the late 90s.
Yeah, I wish I would have kept all of mine.
Why are those there? Is my question.
our production team, our highly skilled tech team that's here doing the show here in Michigan with me, I just noticed those on the shelf over there. One of them might be missing after the show today. How cool those are.
Don't look at Dave. It wasn't him.
I also had one of the first portables, and it was called a Zenith Super Sport.
What do you mean by a portable?
It was a laptop, but back then they called them portables. Yeah, portable. And I remember it ran for 15 minutes on the battery.
Oh my gosh.
15 minutes, and I brought it on a plane, and I took it out, and this is like, I don't even know what year the Zenith Super Sport was, but Zenith was making computers, and I sat down on my flight, and I put my tray up, and I opened my computer, and I was sitting there typing, and people were standing behind my seat going, "Whoa,
oh my
that's amazing."
Gosh. That is
but
so
I could only
crazy.
be amazing for 15 minutes.
Right. You're like, take a good look, because this isn't going to last.
And it was this orange, like everything was orange on the screen. They had a color for it back then and a name for it, but it was...
I do love that you, even though it was only going to be for 15 minutes and it probably weighed 100 pounds, you still were like, it's coming on the plane with me, because I gotta get my 15 minutes of work in.
And it had, it had like a little word processor, so I could actually like write, and people were like, "That's insane." I remember another guy going, "That's the future. We're looking at it." Yeah.
Those were the days.
Zenith Super Sport. Google that. Yeah. I did win a prize.
You did win a prize. It's the laptop that you're gonna steal from.
That I'm gonna take after the show.
Yeah. Enjoy it. Enjoy your laptop.
Oh, cut it out.
Cut it out.
Every Full House episode had a heartfelt scene, and we have cut out a scene from season 2, episode 19, and we're gonna read it together. I'm gonna be playing the role of Joey, and you're gonna be playing Patty. So you get to break my heart, Marla.
Happy to. Let's go.
Okay, ready? And they're in the girls' room, and here we go.
Why are you getting so upset? I thought we were falling in love again.
Well, so did I, but I think we're falling in love with the memories. Patty, let's face it. All we have is our past.
And what about our future? Joey, we're getting a second chance. Only this time, we could have a happy ending.
I know. Patty, you came into my life just like I dreamed you would. It should be perfect, but it's not. Let's face it. We really don't know each other.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
But in a way, it's still a happy ending. I got to say things I needed to say, and I got to hear things I wanted to hear, and now when I think back about us, I can feel really good about it.
All of a sudden, I feel like we're strangers.
Well, we're standing here in front of 2 plates of spaghetti that are getting cold. Why don't we sit down and enjoy this beautiful dinner and get to know each other?
Okay.
Okay. And what a scene that was, huh? They had dinner and love
and
is
then
in
Patty
the
is
air.
never to be seen again.
No, the writers said, "All right, thank you very next." So, did we learn anything from this episode? What did we learn
Did we
today?
learn? People change, people evolve. I tend to romanticize the past sometimes too. And then when you really think about what it was, it wasn't as great as you remember it to be. Yeah. So I feel like that could be the message. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, have you ever thought of a person that maybe you had a fun dates with, and you think, I wonder what would have happened if that would... Sometimes we play that stuff out. Like, I wonder what would have happened. Would we have changed so much and not grown together? And,
yeah,
sometimes I think you meet the person, that you're supposed to be with.
100%. And I think anytime, like I said, you revisit something in your head, I mean, I've even done it not even with like love, but like people that aren't in your lives anymore or like work relationships or whatever, you really tend to think of it. You see it so differently, like, when it's in the past.
And I've done that with friends too.
Yeah.
Like people that at the time I had so much in common with and we were inseparable. And then you see them and you get back together and you go, wow, our lives just went.
Uh-huh. Or even like if you were to meet them now, like a fresh meeting, you're like, I probably wouldn't be friends with you because we don't have anything in common.
Did you say a fresh meat?
Did I say fresh meat?
It sounded like, a fresh meat. I was like, wait a second, did you just say fresh meat?
I didn't mean to. If I said fresh meat, okay, I'll take it again.
I swear you said fresh meat.
It's very possible.
No, leave that in.
Okay, I love a fresh meat.
Fresh meat.
I definitely don't know what that even means. So for me to say that is ridiculous, but
maybe you've coined a new dating phrase.
Yeah.
You know what? I really need a fresh meat. I really do.
Yeah, just looking for a fresh meat. That's it.
Well, we I think that's kind of what this episode is about.
Yeah, I'm still pissed for Joey though that he didn't get a love story,
Well, this is kind of the first time in the series that we see Joey being romantic and talking about love for the first time. It was also like the first time for me as an actor that I had to do a romantic, passionate kiss on camera. And I remember telling Lisa Aleph, who played Patty, that it was my first time sharing a romantic kiss on Full House. And she was great because I was actually very nervous about it.
Of course.
I'm a grown man. I don't
think it matters. I still get nervous having to kiss people, because sometimes like the way the scheduling works out, it's like your first day of shooting. It's like, hi, nice to meet you. Let's make out.
Yeah, I know. It's weird, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It is weird. I got to ask you this because I think about this every time I see people doing like a nude scene.
Yeah.
How do you do that? Have you ever had to do one of those?
Not like fully nude. I've definitely been in like bra and underwear before. I just am so happy when those scenes are over, It's like such a relief. It's that thing hanging over your head like, oh gosh, we have to do this scene or, I have to make out on this day. And then when it's over, you just feel like a sense of relief.
Yeah. I think that's my dividing line between comedian and actor.
Yeah.
Because I would never be able to do like one of those intense lovemaking scenes. I would be so nervous and such a sophomore about it that I would probably just totally kill the mood.
Yeah. I know. You're like, am I supposed to make it light right now and be funny? Are we serious? Am I sexy? Yeah. Like, I don't know what's happening.
Or do I have to do one of these?
Yes, the slow-mo. Yeah, we love it.
Right?
Yeah.
No.
Do a slow push.
I would not be good at that. But Lisa Aleph was very kind and she was just put me at ease and she joked about it with me, So Lisa, if you're out there listening to this, thank you.
Thanks, Lisa, and, making Dave comfortable.
Yes, for sure. And here's a side note. Lisa Aleph was also Miss Virginia.
Oh.
I didn't know it until I started doing the research for this episode of Full House Rewind. Yep.
Wow, good for her.
I know. Mm-hmm.
That's impressive. I'm going to look her up and take a note of what she looks like because I'm having trouble remembering.
She was super nice.
Okay, with that, I think it's time for our fan mail and comments, which is becoming my favorite part of the show. I love interacting.
Mine too.
Yeah, I love interacting with the fans, hearing from you guys, whatever your questions are. They're sometimes questions that I want the answers to as well. So
yeah, and we love hearing from you guys and collecting, some of your best comments and questions. And you've sent some beauties to our Full House Rewind Instagram and YouTube channel. Marla, you got one? You got a question?
I do. Okay, let's see. Annie Kate says, it's Annie Kate 15. Annie Kate 15 says, Dave and Marla, what is your very favorite Full House memory?
Full boy. Do you have one? You go first.
I totally have one. I
Okay.
loved, I think I've talked about this before, but there was an episode where we go joyriding with two older boys. And I remember Jody and I mean, we were just at that age of being so boy crazy, you know, like any boy that looked our direction, we were like, he's so cute. I'm going to marry him. I love him so much. And these two guys that were on the show, Scott White was one of them. And I have to look up who the other actor's name was. He was so sweet. We were just so smitten, and we got to go off campus because we had to film up in Griffith Park for all of the car driving stuff. And it was just the best, you know, like shooting on location with these cute boys. And yeah, and I just have such great memories of Jody, too, because we were kind of going through the same thing as our characters a little bit, you know, just that boy crazy phase and like feeling like we're doing something dangerous together. So I loved that episode.
That's sweet. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Mine was probably, we finished a season and my mom and her husband got to come out for the wrap party. And we had our wrap party over at Santa Monica Airport in this really cool restaurant.
Oh, okay.
There, not in the hangar. It was in the restaurant.
Okay.
And I remember they had so much fun and they danced and we had the best time. I want to say that was probably 1992. I'm pretty sure, right around then. But I really, really remembered how much they got to enjoy Full House by seeing the episode, coming to the wrap party, and and staying with me, and just they talked about it like that was so much fun, and I was like, wow, that's what it's all about,
100%.
Get to share it with family like that. That was fun.
That's great.
Yeah. Let's see. Here's one. This one comes to us from Ruby Sue 30, who says, Dave, I loved all the props from your room back in the late 80s. There were some amazing toys like Pee Wee Herman, the Three Stooges, and even a giant Mr. Potato Head. Whatever happens to these props? Well, they go back to Warner Brothers. In case the show should come back or you need to reshoot something. So once your show's canceled, though, that's when you go in and you take the CPAP and the salt and pepper shakers.
Exactly. 100%. There's one from Pipey Miller. Marla, do you and Jody get along? I feel like people really want us to not be friends for some reason. There was a couple of these. I love Jody with all of my heart. She lives right in my neighborhood. We bump into each other once in a while. And I feel like we always got along. Like there was never a time where we didn't.
Why would people assume that?
Maybe because Gia was like, hard to love. I have no idea.
Because they think the characters?
Yeah, they think we're like the characters.
Like each other?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, like, kudos to Jody, because when I first came on the show, I know I've said this before, I was such a fan of the show. So I was meeting Stephanie Tanner. It was really cool to be on Full House. But also, like, I remember just like having moments of sitting in Jody's dressing room with like my mom there and her mom. And I was like, I'm just hanging out on the Full House set with Stephanie. Like, totally normal.
Yeah.
Little
Marla, and
little Jody.
Marla.
I know.
That's great. Well, I'm glad you guys are friends.
Yes, we love her. And is that it for the questions? I think so. But we would like to hear.
Thanks for the.
Yeah, we want to hear all of your thoughts, right, Dave, on Full House and
absolutely.
Fuller House, and I guess not Fuller House specific, but Full House specific. Tell us your favorite episode or why you love the show. Send us a comment, a question, or a Dave and Marla, also known as a DM. You could send it to either one of us or the Full House Rewind Instagram.
Yeah. And of course, we close every episode of Full House Rewind by giving all of you who need it a hug. And in this episode, Joey's ex, Hattie, re-enters his life after breaking up with him 10 years prior. And you know what? Breakups are really hard. Even if it's, you're leaving the office, like you're leaving a job. That's a tough breakup.
Yeah.
There's so many different breakups, but they can be hard, even if you do it amicably, because it kind of is taking a part of your life away from you,
Yeah, I think there's like a grieving process with any sort of, breakup, friends, work, like you were saying, marriage. So any of you who have gone through a tough breakup or are going through a tough breakup, this hug is for you.
Here we go. And I'm not going to break up with you after this hug.
Oh, please don't. I can't handle it.
Thank you so much. That's our show. And thank you for stopping by. We love all of you so much. Thank you.
We do love all of you. And join us next time on Full House Rewind. You can watch all of our episodes on our Full House Rewind YouTube channel.
Bye, everybody.